In a land famous for endless mountains, there is an unexpected wedge of gently rolling forest. Woven with waterways, a refuge to billions of creatures and home to one of Canada's icons, the caribou. In British Columbia, there are 3 ecotypes of woodland caribou: boreal, northern mountain, and southern mountain. The boreal caribou live in the northeast corner of BC.
Boreal caribou live in flat terrain in kind of boggy, black sprucey swamps. They tend to be more solitary or in smaller herds. They have large hooves and they allow them to travel across snow very easily. It also helps them in wet, boggy areas. They're able to float a little bit more on those soft lands that some other animals might not be able to.
They're unique because females have antlers. The calves have antlers that are generally just spikes. They don't branch and they're fairly short. They kind of look like antennae. Antlers provide a social status, and so when males drop their antlers, they immediately go to the bottom of the social hierarchy. Antlers are not for a weapon or for defense.
For millennia, caribou have lived in balance with predators such as wolves, bear, and wolverines. The barren ground caribou, Boreal's northern neighbor, finds safety in numbers and long-distance migration. The boreal caribou does the opposite, spreading out thinly across the landscape, and in the past, this worked. But now boreal numbers are decreasing in BC and across Canada, and in some places have disappeared. Conditions have changed and caribou are dying at higher rates than before. Roads, seismic lines, and other linear features become arteries through caribou range for hungry predators. Steps have been taken to protect some boreal caribou habitat from industrial development, and a fund for research and management has been provided by the oil and gas industry. Even so, boreal caribou face an uncertain future in BC. Biologists study and monitor remaining herds, even from thousands of miles away, using a remarkable tool: GPS collars.
The GPS collars are satellite linked. They're collecting data and then they'll actually email it to my computer. We can understand the areas that are important to caribou and the areas that aren't as important, and so potentially protect the areas that are most important to the caribou. If the collar goes into mortality mode, it will send a message so that we know almost immediately when the animal dies. It allows us to get out very quickly to determine the cause of death. When we understand better what's killing the caribou, then we can potentially manage those impacts on the landscape, whatever they might be. Without knowing that, we're kind of operating in a black box and we can't do anything about it.
Cameras in the collars give a window into the secret lives of caribou we've never seen before.
To me, even more than wolves or grizzly bears, they are true symbols of wilderness. If we were to lose that, we'd lose something that was essential to us as Canadians. There's First Nations communities that rely on caribou for food and for the hides, and they remain quite connected. As we lose these lands and they change, and as we lose species such as caribou, these cultures change too. It makes me feel better knowing that they're out there and that they're just doing their thing like they've done for 10,000 years.